गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी श्रीपाद परमहंसकाचार्य अष्टोदर्शक श्री श्रीमद इस डिवाइन ऐसे भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवेशकाचार्य अष्टोदर्शक श्री श्रीमद इस डिवाइन भक्ति सिद्धांत से ठाकुर श्री प्रभुपाद अनंत कोटि वैष्णव नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय मायापुर नवदीप धाम के पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम कलिग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन निताय गौर प्रेमानंद ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees, all glories to assembled, all glories to assembled. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 16. How Parikshit received the age of Kali. Text number 3. आज हाराश्व मेधांस्त्रीन् गंगायां भूरिदक्षिणाम् शारद्वतं गुरुं कृत्वा देवा यत्र क्षिगोचरा आजहाराश्वमेधांस्त्रीन् गंगायां भूरिदक्षिणाम् शारद्वतं गुरुं कृत्वा देवा यत्र क्षिगोचरा आजहाराश्वमेधांस्त्रीन् गंगायां भूरिदक्षिणाम् शारद्वतं गुरुं कृत्वा देवा यत्र क्षिगोचरा Anybody else? Mataji's text 3rd. We read word by word meaning. Ajahara, perform. Ashwamedhan, horse sacrifices. Trin, 3. Gangayam, the bank of the Ganges. Bhuri, sufficiently. Dakshinan, rewards. Sharadvatam, unto Krupacharya. Gurum, spiritual master. Kritva, having selected. Deva, the demigods. Yatra, wherein. Akshi, eyes. Gochara, within the purview. Translation. Maharaj Parikshit, after having selected Krupacharya for guidance as his spiritual master, performed 3 horse sacrifices on the banks of the Ganges. These were executed with sufficient rewards for the attendants. And at these sacrifices, even the common man could see demigods. Purport. It appears from this verse that interplanetary travel by the denizens of the higher planets is easy. In many statements in Bhagavatam, we have observed that the demigods from heaven used to visit this earth to attend sacrifices performed by influential kings and emperors. Herein also we find that during the time of the horse sacrifice ceremony of Maharaj Parikshit, the demigods from the other planets were visible even to the common man due to the sacrificial ceremony. The demigods are not generally visible to common man, as the Lord is not visible. But as the Lord, by His causeless mercy, descends to be visible to the common man, similarly the demigods also become visible to the common man by their own grace. Although celestial beings are not visible to the naked eyes of the inhabitants of this earth, it was due to the influence of Maharaj Parikshit that the demigods also agreed to be visible. The kings used to spend lavishly during such sacrifices as a cloud distributes rains. A cloud is nothing but another form of water, or in other words, the waters of the earth transform into clouds. Similarly, the charity made by the kings in such sacrifices are but another form of the taxes collected from the citizens. But as the rains fall down very lavishly and appear to be more than necessary, the charity made by such kings also seems to be more than what the citizen needs. Satisfied citizens will never organize agitation against the king, and thus there was no need in changing the monarchical state. Even for a king like Maharaj Parikshit, there was need of a spiritual master for guidance. Without such guidance, one cannot make progress in spiritual life. The spiritual master must be bona fide, and one who wants to have self-realization must approach and take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master to achieve real success. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashtadeshatarani Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishapanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone. for today's morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Those who have come here and those who are hearing online. So in this verse, we can see that Maharaj Parikshit, he selected Krupacharya as his spiritual master and performed 3 horse sacrifices on the banks of the Ganges, and these were executed with sufficient rewards for the attendants. And these sacrifices were attended by even the demigods. Demigods are even visible to the common man. So as we know that King Parikshit was the grandson of Pandavas, and he was the last heir of the Pandava dynasty. And he was, as we know that his birth, when he was in the womb of his mother Uttara, Ashwatthama had thrown Brahmastra weapon to kill him. Brahmastra weapon is so powerful and so accurate that it can kill that exact person, not destroying others. Not unlike today's atomic bombs, which destroy everyone. So when this Brahmastra was coming towards Parikshit Maharaj, when he was in the womb, a small embryo in the womb, Uttara, she ran towards Lord Krishna. She was praying to Lord Krishna to save her child. And we can see that how Lord Krishna, that time, he entered into the womb of Uttara. Very small, Angushtamatram, very small size. And he protected Parikshit. And Parikshit, he got the vision of the Lord before his birth. In fact, before his birth, he could see Lord Krishna. And when he is going to depart, in the future chapters, we will see how he was cursed and by Shringi, and he is going to leave this material world within 7 days. He is going to see again the Supreme Lord at his final departure. So from the very beginning of his birth and while departing, he is having darshan of the Supreme Lord. And at the last moment, how he got the darshan? Because he took shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from the Supreme Lord. And anybody who hears this Srimad Bhagavatam with great attentiveness, he will see the Supreme Lord. Through the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna is revealed. And when somebody attains, hears properly, then he will achieve the ultimate perfection of one's life by going back home, back to God, which is the ultimate goal for all of us. So here, Parikshit Maharaj, we can see that he was ruling the kingdom after Pandavas retired timely, because he had to continue the legacy of maintaining dharma, establishing dharma and ruling in that consciousness. And it is explained that he performed these horse sacrifices on the banks of the Ganges. And one horse sacrifice also is not a small thing. It's a big sacrifice. It's not like today's time, a small yajna and just few selected invitees. But these yajnas were quite elaborate, quite opulent. Many important guests and his people were invited. In fact, his network was so powerful that he could invite demigods. Demigods would come. And here it is explained that even they were visible to common men. So performing yajna, sacrifices, is a bona fide process. It's not that it had to be done in earlier ages. There was a standard process for every age. Krite yadhyayate Vishnu, Tretayam yajato mak, Dwapari paricharyayam, Kalau tad hari kirtano. For every age there is a bona fide process for achieving perfection. Krite yadhyayato Vishnu. In the Satya Yuga, the method of meditation. Tritayam yajato makhe. In Treta Yuga, the next age, the sacrifice means yajna. And one name of Vishnu is also yajna. Yajna by Vishnu. Yajna has to be performed for Vishnu, not any other demigods. Because he is the ultimate beneficiary of yajnas. Even somebody may perform yajnas to please some demigods. And the ultimate beneficiary is Lord Vishnu. Therefore Lord Vishnu has to be worshipped in every yajna. Then one will get the ultimate perfection of that yajna, the benefits of that yajna. And who has created these yajnas? Lord Krishna, he told Arjuna in Bhagavatam, the very beginning, he is telling that saha yajna praja sruštva purovacho prajapati anena parashavisraddham yena vošnavra kamada. That in the very beginning of creation, I sent men, demigods, and this process of yajna, saha yajna praja sruštva. So this is from the very beginning of creation. This method of yajna is not a recent development. From the very beginning it has been given as a standard practice to achieve the perfection of one's life. Because there are different types of people. And many will have material desires. Because they want to enjoy in this material world. And you want to get material benefits. there had to be some provision to fulfill their desires. Even to live in this material world, what we need, what are our basic needs? Food, right? Annat bhavanti bhutani. Food is a basic need, gross, at the gross level. And who gives anna? Parjanyat anna sambhava. Lord is explaining in Bhagavad Gita that grains don't come easily unless there are rains. Right? Parjanyat anna sambhava. Yajnat bhavati parjanyam. And how the rains will come? The rains will come when there is a performance of yajna. Yajna karma samudbhava. And when people perform their prescribed duties, then only they will perform yajnas. Without this, then there will not be rains. And when there are no rains, then there will not be any grains. And when there are no grains, then we cannot live. So therefore, this is a science. This is a science of performing yajnas. And Lord Krishna has told this in Bhagavad Gita. That if we want to subsist in this material world, how we subsist? We subsist on the food grains. We cannot manufacture these food grains in the factories. Today's time there may be plastic rice or something. People are producing rice in the factories. But that is not the right food. That is not anna. The real anna, it comes from rains. And rains are given by when person performs yajnas. And there is a demigod who is controller of the rains. Indra, we know that. There are various demigods, those who control various things in this material universe. We get rains because of Indra. And therefore, for him, there is sacrifice, we need to please him. And when he is pleased, then he will profusely give rains. And when the rains are there, then the grains are created. The farmers depend on the rains. So this is the way of living in this material world. And even to live in this material world, we have to perform yajnas. So one may ask that we don't see these kind of demigods. We don't believe in them. How things are happening, how whether they exist. We may say that you are always saying that there are some gods in the sky. Somebody is there up somewhere and they are controlling everything. And how can we believe in such things? So, for those who don't believe in gods, still they have to believe, because even we don't believe, it is not that they are not going to exist. Their existence is always there. We may not be able to see them, but they are controllers of various things in this material world. And we are helpless in that way. We very much depend on their mercy. And common men are supposed to worship demigods. They should perform various sacrifices to please the demigods. Because people have material desires. And material desires are fulfilled by various demigods. Lord Vishnu does not fulfill material desires. He fulfills spiritual desires. When somebody desires to worship Lord, he wants to get freed from this material world, then Lord Vishnu comes in picture. And even when somebody is performing these various sacrifices to please demigods, one has to worship. There is a part of the process of worshipping demigods. The final worship has to be offered to Lord Vishnu. Om Tat Sat. Then only that yajna is complete. Otherwise that yajna sacrifice is not complete. So this is a process of performing yajnas. And even how to perform these yajnas? What should be our consciousness while performing the yajna? That is very important. Because it is not just a ritual. Behind the ritual there is spiritual. If we miss the spiritual, then it becomes just a ritual. And therefore Lord Krishna, again in the 17th chapter, he is giving that point. What is our consciousness? The yajna is performing at the 3 levels. Yajna in the mode of goodness, yajna in the mode of passion, yajna in the mode of ignorance. So what are these 3 things? Why Lord Krishna had to tell this again? Because Arjuna had asked this question, that if somebody does something, he is worshipping according to his own faith. What is his faith? How his worship is considered. Somebody is rejecting or not accepting the authority of the scriptures, but he is worshipping according to some faith. Then how to understand that person? He is doing something. He is doing according to his faith. So how to understand? So Lord Krishna explains that his faith can be in 3 types. In the mode of goodness, in the mode of passion, or in the mode of ignorance. And then Lord Krishna explains that there are foods in the mode of goodness, foods in the mode of passion, foods in the mode of ignorance. So one has to be very careful what type of food one is eating. According to that, one's consciousness will get developed. The Lord is explaining that sacrifice, austerity, charity, all these 3 things can be in different modes. And therefore these 3 things have to be understood very carefully. Otherwise we may be doing something without proper consciousness. We may not get the results. We may think that, yes, I am doing everything properly. But our consciousness may be affected by a mode of ignorance, mode of passion, or mode of goodness. So therefore, Lord Krishna has explained that afala kankshibhir yajna vididrishtam sayajyate. That afala kankshibhir, without expecting any results, fruits. I am performing yajna, performing sacrifice, but I am not expecting any material benefits out of that. Afala kankshibhir yajna. Yashtavyam iti mana samadhaya sa satvikaha. That one who performs these yajnas in that consciousness without expecting anything in return, and according to scriptural guidance, vididrishtam. It's not something concocted, something that I do something, just learn from somebody and do some yajna. No, it is not going to get any results. It has to be according to scriptural directions. There has to be guidance of this. It has to be mentioned in the scriptures, not just some mental speculation. So such kind of, without expecting anything in return, for the benefit of all people. So therefore the consciousness of a person who is performing the yajna is very important. That decides the results and how people in general will get benefit. The person who is performing the consciousness, performing the yajna, sacrifice, has very elevated consciousness. Then we will see that the results are also superior. And here we see that Maharaj Parikshit performed these great sacrifices, horse sacrifices, under the guidance of his spiritual master, Kripacharya. And in that sacrifices, even the demigods came to visit. Can you imagine the demigod descending from the higher planets and attending these sacrifices? And usually Srila Prabhupada explains that these demigods are not visible when they even descend to this mortal world. They are not visible to the common man. In Kali Yuga, hardly anybody may come because Kali Yuga is such a place that hardly anybody is performing yajnas properly, and they may not be comfortable being visible also to the common man. That why to become visible in front of these so many sinful people. And people will not understand also. Even the demigods may come, they may not understand. That is an unfortunate situation. So now here Srila Prabhupada explains that why these demigods become visible. Even the Lord, when He comes in this material world, He comes every yuga. He comes every yuga and He became visible to the common man. That usually Lord does not reveal Himself. But He came. In various yugas He comes. And He becomes visible to the common man. But who can understand the Lord? Lord Ram came. Lord Nrsimhadev came. Lord Varaha came. Lord came in the form of a fish incarnation. Vaman Rupa. Balaram, Krishna. Parshuram. The Shautaras. They came. Today is also the disappearance of Jayadeva Goswami. So it's written the Dashavatara. So how, when they came, Lord did not reveal to many. He revealed only to those who could understand Him, those who had the mood of devotion. Avajananti ma moda manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto. Lord Krishna explains that I come as a human-like form. But those who are mudas, those who are not having that vision, those who don't accept, for them He does not reveal. For them He is a common human being. But those who are devotees of the Lord, those who understand that yes, He is a Supreme Lord. He comes as a human being, but He is not a human being. Man cannot become God, and God cannot become man. Srila Prabhupada explains that man cannot become God. Otherwise there is a theory, that kind of speculation, that even a common person can become God. Daridra Narayan kind of thing. There is a Daridara Narayan, Srila Prabhupada explained, and there is Dhani Narayan also. Right? Lord has taken the form of a poor person. So does that mean that he is in the heart of only poor people? He is in the heart of rich people also. He is in the heart of everyone. So Lord is there in the heart of every person. And therefore that vision one has to develop. He is in everyone's heart. It's not only the heart of poor people. Otherwise that can be a very narrow-mindedness, narrow view of looking at the things. And it can be politicized also, right? That only certain section of people have to be taken care of. No. Everyone needs Krishna consciousness. And therefore, there has to be a lot of deeper understanding of this process. That what is the process of Krishna consciousness? What Srila Prabhupada has given. And how it helps to broaden our perspective. How it helps to look beyond the way we look at every day, or the way we are conditioned to look at the things. Sometimes we condition ourselves to look at certain things. And we become so conditioned that we don't want to see beyond that. Only this way. Only my way is the highway. We don't want to see any other method of achieving perfection. So therefore, here it is very, very important that Srila Prabhupada is explaining that these demigods became visible to the common man because of the consciousness of Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit had such a elevated consciousness that even these demigods, they decided that, okay, let us be visible to the common man. Let us give our darshan. And that's how the common man got the benefit. They could understand, yes, our king is so powerful, his consciousness is so elevated that even the demigods are coming. And we are able to see them. So our king is so powerful that even the demigods are coming here. So how much we should respect the king, how much we should appreciate his consciousness, his thought process. So here Srila Prabhupada explains that in Srimad Bhagavatam, in many statements in Srimad Bhagavatam, we have observed that the demigods from the heaven used to visit this earth. So, demigods visiting this earth is not kind of unknown phenomena to the devotees or those who are having faith in this process. In today's time, there may be kind of revolution if somebody says that demigods were visiting the earth. And the scientific community may not accept this kind of statements. Right? And they may just reject everything. Oh, what is this? These are all mythology. This is a mythology. This is not a bona fide scriptures, bona fide statements. But what is mythology? Here we see that even in recent times, Parikshit Maharaj was just 5,000 years before and demigods were coming. And Kali Yuga started just around that time. And before that, it was a common practice that demigods were coming and visiting. When Prithu Maharaj performed sacrifice, Lord Vishnu himself came. Can you imagine? Lord Vishnu, along with his Garuda carrier, he came. And amazingly, he was not touching the ground. He was like a levitated kind of in the space. He was flying and balancing. But later on, he saw that Prithu Maharaj is performing these sacrifices for the benefit of everyone. And even to then satisfy everyone, he kind of touched the ground. And he put one hand on the shoulder of Garuda. And Srila Prabhupada explained that he put the hand on the shoulder of Garuda just so that he doesn't fall down. So that he is balanced on the ground. He is grounded. So Lord Vishnu had come. It was a common practice. Even the human beings could go to the higher planets. Where is it is mentioned that Lord Krishna and Arjuna went to the abode of Mahavishnu in the same body. That Brahmana had stolen children and Arjuna took the vow again. So to satisfy Lord to Arjuna and to even give darshan to Mahavishnu, Lord Krishna took Arjuna on the chariot and went to the abode of Mahavishnu. In the same chariot they went. What kind of power they had? What kind of technology was there? They could travel interplanetary. So the earlier technology was much more superior and powerful. They could transform from one planet to another. They could travel. And of course Mahavishnu, he saw Lord Krishna coming, and then he told that, okay, I had stolen these children because I wanted to take your darshan. I can't leave this position of Mahavishnu and come to this earth and take your darshan. So I wanted your darshan, how you perform your pastimes. So therefore I stole these children. Now you can go. So we can understand that how the pastimes of Lord Krishna are so amazing that even those demigods, Brahma, he came on his swan carrier and he stole these children, cowherd boys. Lord Indra also, he was doubtful that, how this child can be a supreme Lord, and he's stopping sacrifices. Every year they perform sacrifice and he's stopping this sacrifice. What is this? And he sent torrents of rains. He was like flooding the entire Vrindavan. And Lord Krishna could understand, yes, now Indra has become proud of his position. I have given this position and now he has become proud. And his pride has to be curbed. So that time, Lord Krishna lifted Govardhan hill, Girivardhari, for 7 days and 7 nights. Why? Because the sacrifice for the Lord Indra was stopped. That sacrifice, every year Nanda Baba and everyone, they would perform sacrifice. Very honestly, they would offer everything to Indraya Swaha and everything like that. And Indra was very happy that Vrajavasis are doing this. And this year, when Lord Krishna, he became little grown up, he started questioning whom this sacrifice is going on and why this sacrifice. Perform everything for Giri Govardhan. Offer everything to Govardhan. He is supplying everything to us. And Nanda Baba accepted, okay. He's telling to do this offer. So let us offer everything to Govardhan. He started offering everything to Govardhan. And Indra became very upset. And then we know that how, although he was sending so many torrential rains, he could not budge little bit, not even a small drop of rain could touch Brijvasis. And then finally understood that yes, he is the Supreme Lord. He came down and surrendered to the Lord. So we can understand that although the demigods are powerful, they are having certain power. They supply rains, they supply sunshine, they supply wind. So many our basic necessities we get from various demigods. But still above them is the Supreme Lord. And Supreme Lord is Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam. He is the ultimate beneficiary of all yagyas. Bhoktaram Yagya Tapas Sarva Loka Mahesham Surudam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantimat. That he is the ultimate beneficiary. He is maintaining everyone. And at the same time, he is a friend of all living entities. Surudam Sarvabhutam. He is an intimate friend. And anybody who understands this, that person will become very peaceful. That is the peace formula Lord Srila Prabhupada explains. So, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Lord, comes to this material world. Not in earlier ages also, but every yuga he comes. And in Kali Yuga especially, is a very difficult time. Advaita Acharya, 500 years before, Advaita Acharya, he saw the condition of people around. That people are so fallen. They are performing these various Devi Puja, Chandi Puja, for material benefits. They are also performing a lot of sacrifices, sacrificing animals, which is in the mode of ignorance. And they are offering to this Chandi Devi and all that, Durga Devi. And they are trying to become happy. They think that if we get lot of material benefits, lot of money, sense gratification, then we'll be happy. And they were not at all worshipping Lord Krishna. They did not know. Their vision was completely blinded. What is the ultimate goal of life? And seeing that situation, Advaita Acharya was feeling so compassionate. He was praying to the Supreme Lord to descend to this material world. And he was offering tulsi leaves, Ganga water to his Shalagram Shila. And he was praying to the Lord, "Oh Lord, please come. Look at the condition of people in this Kali Yuga. If you don't come, what will happen?" And his prayers, Lord answered. And many times Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he used to tell that I came because Advaita Acharya prayed for me to come. He was praying intensely. I was there in my spiritual abode. And because he prayed, I came down. And he came, and we know that how Lord, earlier he was, if you look at the age difference between Advaita Acharya and Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, it was more than 50 years. Advaita Acharya was something 52 years or 53 years when Lord appeared as Nimaya Pandit. And he was performing so many wonderful pastimes as a scholar, Sanskrit scholar. And everyone was praying that this Nimai should become devotee. Because if he becomes devotee, then everyone will accept that the worship of the Lord or the chanting of the holy name. And we know that how Lord, his leelas are amazing, as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as we see, as we'll hear more, as the various appearances, Lord Nityananda's appearance will come, Lord Chaitanya's appearance will come, and how they mercifully started this Yuga Dharma for this age. The sacrifice for this Kali Yuga is the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated the chanting of the holy name. Sankirtan Yajna. Sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangha Pangastra Parshada Yajna Sankirtan Prabhu Yajanti Hi Sumedasa. This chanting of the holy name is itself is a sacrifice. Kalotad Hari Kirtana. Anybody who performs this sacrifice will definitely get benefit. And therefore we see that how this sacrifice, the chanting of the holy name, has to be performed in the proper consciousness. Lord Krishna also has explained that these are the various levels of chanting. One has to perform this sacrifice in the mode of goodness. In the proper consciousness one should chant. Otherwise one will not get benefit. Because the Lord has descended in the form of holy name. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Every time we chant the holy name, Lord Krishna descends. And if you are not attentive, we'll miss. We may think that this chanting is a burden. I want to finish my chanting. Lokanath Maharaj, His Holiness Lokanath Maharaj says that don't kill your japa, don't finish your japa. It is like finishing. I have finished my rounds. Kill my japa. Japa ko khatam kiya. We should not do that. We should be more eager to chant. Our chanting should be with great attentiveness, with great eagerness. We should not think that I am completing my rounds. I want to chant more and more. Because Lord has come in the form of the holy name. But we are not attentive. Then we'll miss. We'll think that it is a big anxiety. 16 rounds become a big anxiety. So therefore, if you have to get a real benefit of the chanting, then one should be more attentive. Srila Prabhupada also explains that attentive chanting, 90%, 99% of our spiritual advancement depends upon attentive chanting. And we chant attentively, we'll get the real benefit of the chanting. And today is also the Disciplines Day of Srila Jayadeva Goswami, who was a great Acharya, Vaishnava Acharya. We can see he composed this Geet Govind. The Shavtar Stotra we hear saying it has been glorified by so many Acharyas. He was such a amazing personality. His birth, it is explained that Kendu Vilva something, Kendu Vilva or Kenduli, some village is there in Bengal. He was born, Orissa, where he was born, and he had renounced everything. But later on, the order of Lord Jagannath, he got married. And we know that how he was writing something on Lord, very, very high elevated levels of writings. And he could not write. He was thinking, how can I write something? And he went to take his bath to the Ganges. And within some time, his wife saw that he has come again. And she asked him that, you came back so quickly? So he told that, no, I have forgotten. Something came to my mind to write, to complete this poetry. And therefore I came. And then he was writing. And then that Jayadev, he went. And real Jayadev again came quickly, within some time. So his wife became confused. That my husband has gone and he has come back again so quickly taking bath in Ganga. So she asked him, how you came back? You came so quickly you wrote down something and you went back. Again you came back. So what is happening? She could not understand. So Jayadev Goswami, he understood that there is something transcendental happening here. And he went and saw what was written. Then he understood that Lord himself came, Lord Krishna himself came to write down. He disguised himself as Jayadev. And he wrote down that poetry, completed his work, and he has gone back. And he was telling his wife that you are so fortunate. You got darshan of Lord. Lord Krishna came. He manifested to you. And in that way, this is one example, and there are many incidents like that. But the Lord comes whenever his devotees sincerely desire, when his devotees sincerely pray, Lord appears. Because Lord reciprocates according to the consciousness of a person. And there are so many stories and cases even today that how Lord has revealed to his devotees and how Lord has helped his devotees and he is helping today also. So we'll stop here because time is getting over. We'll read furthermore how I'm not going into details of scientific things. There are many things I wanted to tell. How the Lord there is an interplanetary travel. How the other beings of other planets also visit Earth. There is a different discussion. So we'll take it sometime later. Hare Krishna. But Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada mentions that I think some chanting was going on and Srila Prabhupada mentioned that, did you see the demigods had come? Shukadeva Goswami had come and various demigods had come. So pure devotees can see demigods appearing and we may not see, but we should accept that they are coming and attending our kirtans. Hare Krishna. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Hari.